All right, guys, welcome back to Chasing 4-5. I'm Lyman, and I'm here with Bryce. We are going to go over some practice sessions, and we're going to be reviewing. We have two views today, so we have the swing vision view that we always have, and also have the side view. So we'll go over two practice days. And I think there's a video of me like scooping water and stuff. The court that I booked actually was filled with puddle. Was pretty much a lake.
Oh,
So I played on the next court. Luckily it was open, but we'll show you what happens when people don't clear the courts in the morning when you pay a lot of money for a club.
don't you play indoors?
I I thought I booked indoors, and then
Oh,
I actually ended up booking the wrong court and it was outdoors. So, yeah, I need to pay more attention. And then finally we'll go over a mixed doubles match and yeah, it'll be fun. All right, ready?
yeah, yeah, let's do it. I'm looking at some notes we had. Um, yeah, I want to see what we can talk about from the side view.
Cool. Let me bring up everything first. Move some stuff around. I have a very messy desktop right now.
Outside of that, like outside of like when we talk about things and meet every week, there's a lot of stuff that Lyman sends me or that I'll send to Lyman that like for example, this one is by Leah Lubold, who's doing a lot of footwork. So that there's like small things that I recommend to Lyman that I think we can like add at the description down below if people are interested for specific drills that we're sending between each other. So uh, just wanted to plug that information.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wonder if I can like remix that onto my Instagram.
yeah,
Maybe I'll
yeah.
I'll start doing that. I'll add you on the let's
Yeah, Lyman's not
see.
professionally training for ATP points. He has a full-time job
Yeah,
doing other things.
gotta pay the bills to play tennis, right? Let's start with outdoor day. How about that?
Yeah, puddle. Is this the puddle day? Oh yeah, I see a
Yeah,
puddle.
puddle day. So you can see
Okay.
the camera.
Oh, awesome. This is perfect. Sorry, I've been trying to bug Lyman about having like a side view for like a couple of weeks now, and this is
All
good
right.
that we get to see him. And so the drill that we had was inside out, forehand, alternating with backhand cross court. The thing I wanted to ask was that so you sent I'm looking on Instagram, plug Instagram thing here that you have this like short footwork spacing from like Mini Badini. This like there's it's a kid with long hair and his coach like hand feeding.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like what was your you were saying I can do these on feeding drills, but I can't do this in match play or in rallies. Like what was the thing that you wanted to do most out of it?
So like like here, like I can move okay. I can kind of more or less protect the ball. I think with live ball, because I don't know where the ball's going to go, my preparation is always a little bit later.
Mm,
Um, and then it doesn't it's okay in doubles, I think, just because there's less room to like cover.
right.
So it's almost like I'm doing these drills. So it feels normal. Yeah, I feel like I can't set fast enough.
Mm,
So maybe it's more of a mindset mentality, I don't know, or just need more repetition. I haven't been playing a lot of singles, which might be the issue as well.
yeah.
Um, so maybe I just need to play more singles and get used to playing more points. I don't know.
How do you feel about having um like this ball machine action here versus having a coach? How do you feel about that? Like the difference so far?
Um, like a coach, I mean, the coach can definitely control the feeding. Here I'm just really focused on the ball. I mean, there's a rhythm, right?
Right.
The rhythm's pretty set. The ball has some variety in it because it doesn't bounce in the same place all the time, so I don't really know if it's going to come short. Um, just because this ball machine happens to not be very consistent. Uh, so
Which is okay, right?
yeah.
Like even between feeds, like the balls are just naturally gonna bounce differently. But like here, like I'm wondering, maybe it is like because if you were to scroll back, like or even just like these shots right now, like you don't always split step, but then if you had a coach, I think that's something we would pick up on at some point and start kind of hounding you. So like uh yeah, I don't know. Nice backhand. Yeah, I don't know. There's like some small things that I think like maybe you might need someone to call attention to because you're already focusing on the ball and having so many other things. Uh that like fundamental things are sometimes hard to remember.
Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't split stepping here. Let me see if I did on the next one.
Not to like yeah, but like that's because I could say okay, here this is like feeding and like we're able to do things so that now you're split stepping. But like how you get to be like moving fast and fast
Oops.
stepping and having a lot of good footwork, a lot of good timing is comes from well, it's a huge puddle. Comes from like these fundamentals where you're just having a non-initiative. You're always split stepping. Okay, split steps. I think here from the side view, you're able to get a lot of on the forehand, on the forehand inside outs, you're able to have a lot of wrist flick and a lot of wrist action. Do you feel like you're getting the same when you're playing matches or rallying? Like you
Um,
have your arm goes like we
yeah,
talked about last
I
week.
I I can. Um, I I think I can get it in matches in USTA matches. Like
Okay.
I can hit like that for sure. Maybe I tense up sometimes, but overall I think I can. I don't know.
Yeah. This is good. No, I feel like your forehands are increasingly becoming more like that, especially when I watch the match video. Like last week, um, I think last week we did talk about it, where your racket head starts, and then as you're making contact, it goes contact and then going through the ball. It's like flinging like a whip, right? Um, the your backhand is, I think, the next thing we want to work on, which is good. This I wanted a side video of your backhand. So if you play your backhand in slow motion, uh, what we need to see is that, and I'm kind of guilty of doing this as well. Pause it at frames. So right now, right before contact, while the ball bounces and it comes towards you, you're facing the fence, right? This is like good. Your chest is facing the fence. Your racket's about to drop down. I would say like maybe it's time to drop your racket earlier. So trying to be set earlier, turn, set, drop your racket earlier. This is fine. And then as you move forward and you get towards contact, so this part, once you're hitting the ball and your racket's going forward, what you want to do is still keep your chest and your body facing towards more or less towards the fence. If you're hitting cross court, you can have your body sideways, like how I am right now.
Okay.
But when you're done, it should be the shot should be done and you should be able to hold it there if you wanted to. Like, yeah. So as you're if you go back a little bit or next backhand. Yeah, so as you see how you finish and you're gonna pull your arm back. So this is contact a little further. So there, that's like you're actually done with the shot, right?
Hmm.
Or if you feel like you are. I don't know if you agree,
Yeah,
but
but my chest is kind of more open.
yeah, so this is when we've like everyone agrees your shot motion is finished. But when your shot motion is finished like that, what we want is like your chest is more or less facing towards the fence still. It's
Mm.
not presenting open. Um, if you do that when you present open like that, when your shot motion is finished, what you're doing is swinging and you're dragging your body, your racket across your body as you're hitting that backhand. And that's going to pull the ball laterally versus where what we want is that the control of the cross court motion or the directional motion is because we have like set ourselves at an angle and we're going to maintain that plane across that goes from behind to forward, um which our chest is serving as that plane. We sweep across this plane. We don't cut across our chest. We go front to back, from left to right, so to speak, from the left
Okay.
side of my body to the right side of my body, but we're going from behind to forward into the court, and we're not dragging across the baseline.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And there was like a few instances where I did it and I go, that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
Doing it is kind of the hard part.
yeah.
But yeah, I know you like hit and then it's almost like you're af after you finish, yeah, you're like in that position. And I do see you do it. So,
No,
um
not accusing you of anything. It's hard to do,
yeah.
and you should feel a good indicator is like if you have kept your head at the contact point, that helps, but also feeling your shoulder blades pinch a little as you're like uh your arms are spreading, right? Because your racket arm obviously goes forward and hits the ball, but your left arm should pinch too. And that helps you maintain that position, which you're doing really well, which this pinching thing is really good. Your left arm separates really well, but just make sure you like face well. Like your chest is, yeah. It, and the other thing is like, don't be tricked. It looks like that people, when they hit their backhand, uh, like they're one-handers, it looks like that they're not stopping and turning and like recovering, but like if it's a correctly hit backhand, they are finishing their motion and then turning.
Well, that this was practice one. You want to go look at serves?
Yeah, just a side note, we can tell how hard Lyman's working because it's extremely cold. We can see his breath.
It was cold that morning. It was. Okay. This is serving. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see the ball. Let's see.
Do you have to bring your own balls?
I do, yes. This was serving in the morning.
It's weird that like even Swing Vision knows how to clip your serves.
Oh yeah, their AI is pretty good.
This is good work. I know you're warming up the several like first couple shots, but like I can tell you're like cutting across the ball in a different way than usual. No?
Yeah, yeah. I like when I started to hit a few, I was like, Bryce
Yeah,
said,
there you go.
try to hit, come under the ball. So I was really trying to do that.
Um, I don't know. I feel that's what it looks like because if at like number 11 or something, um, there's only 37 of these, so okay.
Let's go. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
so
only
that
30.
one, that's like, if you're hitting it pancake flat, your ball's not gonna do that.
That's the wrong wide.
Yeah, no, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, th this one.
Yeah, so like here, uh, yeah, you can tell that like that's like confirmation. The motion is showing me that you really wanted to brush from underneath, but it wasn't happening because the first couple of warm-ups was like, okay, it does seem like he's trying, but this is like if that happens where it just goes so out wide, it's like, yeah, that's what he's intentionally aiming for. Um, okay, I see. Um, do you feel like your body's kind of like moving in an awkward way to go around this like brushing motion?
Yeah, I always feel like I'm like this.
Okay.
It, it
Uh,
it looks a little less, but I don't feel like I'm jumping straight up. I'm always jumping like this.
one thing that you're doing is uh you're serving and you load, but you're not loading all the way.
Hmm.
So like if we go slower or like pause it?
Yeah, I can bring it down to
So
like point 1.
yeah. We can go super slow on the next one. 'Cause they more or less are quite like replicants of each other. So here's him toss, load, racket comes up, great. You should load it a little bit further. And as you're loading, what you want is your racket to like sit. So you're already trying to go up with your legs and your body up towards the sky, not into the tennis court, up towards the sky with your body, but your arm is still kind of coming down. What you want is that you toss, racket comes up, as you load with your knees and your legs and your back, your arm, your right tennis racket arm also sits and dips in. So your whole body dips, it sits into this like spring position together. And for viewers, like I'm forming the triangle. I'm scratching. My racket's still up. You don't have to scratch your back yet. Um, this is my racket for today. So makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything's loaded together. So if we play a little further, it's weird to do in my chair. Okay, so here his your legs and like a good indicator is like if you look at your hips because a lot of people's weights are around their hips and torso. This is a lot earlier. It's moving and rising a lot earlier than your arm is because your arm uh had to sit for a second more and then dip, which you should dip. Like here, and this is my racket. You should scratch your back, and this is good. This is really good from Lyman. Like, I don't know where you picked it up from. If you're just like watching people and you figured it out, or you already do it, we can insert past video here. But this is good. He's scratching his back, but this comes down a second later, a millisecond later than it should be, and so now it feels like I don't know if you feel it, but it feels like you're being compressed while you're trying to jump up.
Hmm.
I don't know if that this like feeling of like being bunched together is like maybe another way of describing you going towards the side.
Yeah, it could be. Like I don't have enough room to hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel that a lot actually. I'm pausing for yeah, this was
No, think
exactly
about
how
it.
I felt for the last yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel that sometimes. The feeling like I'm compressed and I can't hit the ball cleanly, so I think I try to make up for it somehow.
No, yeah, I like I do it too if I don't like hit a forehand correctly, and uh but that's what happens. Like the way you're making contact with the ball's fine. But what ends up happening is that like you need to maybe toss a little higher so you have a little bit more time, or just like know that you set together. I am racket toss up, set together. This one's a little bit better, but and then as you go up, you dip your racket nice and fast, come around, and everything. You should feel all of your body weight go up at the ball, and it's like this one big stretch. Like you know how when you do like the reach for the stars stretch, it's together up. No,
Mm.
like like one thing is not moving ahead of the other.
Got it. So this might be why I'm like curved this way because I'm trying to create space.
Mm, for your arm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think if you were to like the more you if we see videos of you loading together and your arm being at the same timing as your legs and your body going up, we'll see you straighten out more, hopefully.
Okay. So
This
we should
one's better than the last one.
I think it was yeah, this day that I said I felt like okay, I understand how to hit underneath the ball.
Another thing that people say when they serve is that like your body weight should feel like it's together with your chest. So your chest should be going up in the same motion and your arm like but your body weight's being led by your chest versus while your racket arm has the same timing reaching up, going, forward and crawling up to hit the ball.
Hmm.
It should feel like your chest is like, you're leading and it feels like you're moving with your chest, not like you're having to support it.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that, right? Because I don't lead with my chest.
Like here, this
Oh,
part. Um, we just saw you like as you're already jumping, that your racket still has to make this little trip to get behind if you play
hmm.
back. Um, so this is Lyman. He's still loading here. Racket's not set. But now you're set and you're about to go up, but you're still making this trip and keep going. Keep going. Yeah, leading and you're still kind of setting. It should be a little bit more together. This one's better than the other ones, but still.
Yeah, I'm super late already.
Yeah. The action around the ball is good. Like this is another way to hit out wide slice. If this is your tennis ball, this is magnesium, by the way, good for recovery. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's good for recovery. It's not a doping drug. Uh, when you hit slice, everyone's like, okay, I cut the ball like this, right? This is how I'm going out wide. I don't know if this looks correct to you, but racket goes on the right. If we're right-handed, racket goes on the right hand of the side of the ball, and you go like that. Another way is by hitting like this. Um, yeah, you're starting from underneath, and we're gonna pull spin so that it rotates into the out wide direction. And so when it bounces, it's gonna go shoot up. But we're not instead of we're cutting around, we're pulling from underneath and producing a slight out wide direction. So we're already hitting. You can see my chest is facing towards the out wide. We're already kind of making contact in that sort of angle just by a little bit. And then we're also producing a little bit of a spin and projecting it into that out wide direction.
Yeah. Okay. I can imagine. Sorry, something like blinked on my computer. But yeah, I get that. I totally understand that.
Basically, as you are able to produce more kick and you're able to dip your racket more. So obviously, this might be a byproduct, this like scrunching, leaning, and like having to support your weight thing. Maybe is because of a byproduct of you focusing on trying to spin,
Hmm.
and then you're like, okay, I have to do this thing, and you're using a little bit more time to get to the ball versus maybe regularly if you don't think about it, you'll contact higher. um as you get used to like loading correctly and setting like your weight together leading forward with your chest instead of having to support it, you'll find out that like as you project the spin and finish in certain directions with your racket head, like this like is another way to like hit the traditional shots that like or locations that you wanted to before with the original or traditional techniques that you were using before, but now you're doing it with a kick spin.
Hmm. Okay.
That was a lot of me rambling. Yeah. good for recovery. They give you weird dreams though sometimes and they make you twitch. It's
Okay.
it's
That
an
that
electrolyte, right?
yeah, making you twitch is probably not a good thing.
It's because like your muscle fibers like with all these electrolytes, I think like how it was explained to me is like it's like a domino chain where it's like some of them are kind of being reset a little bit because of like the ions and something. I don't know.
I'm just warming up here.
Yeah, you split here, and I feel like you're turning earlier. Maybe it's because it's cold outside.
It was really cold that day. I was
Okay.
pretty miserable.
Um, it's good that you went and did it though. This is much better. You're much more lively here. Split set, extra early turn. Split no split set, but that's okay. Earlier turn, split step. And you also don't fling your racket body across as much. Yeah. I don't know if you feel that way.
Yeah, I think this day I was trying to hold my body still a little bit more and
Yeah.
kind of create that whipping action. So
Did did I talk
I
about
have side view for this one too.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Here.
I don't know if we talked about it last time, but maybe you should feel like your core when you hit your forehand functions the same way, the reverse way as when you hit your backhand. Split step, good. This is good.
Here, I slow down.
Yeah, look at that whip action. Racket head starts and then accelerates as you're swinging, accelerates through the ball. Backhand, it just looks very natural that you do it. Beforehand, you're doing more whip action than I think before, but more consistently. Nice steps. This is good. I think if you keep your shoulder and your chest facing the right way and you use your left hand, that's like maybe the last parts
Okay.
for your backhand. How does it feel when you hit in a match or in live ball?
Uh, I'm not definitely not comfortable like this. I'm super relaxed, focused. In the match. I think I'm accounting for so many different things that I like default to not hitting the ball well. Like here, I can step in and hit like the ball in the rise. I feel more comfortable even if the ball's a little higher. I think I'm coming across it a little bit better and I'm not
Hmm.
as late. It's like, yeah, my contact point here was like a lot better. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't hit very many balls in the mixed doubles match, so we'll talk about that. Um, but yeah, this practice I felt very comfortable. Like I felt like everything felt on point. Obviously, it can be better, but I felt like I knew what I was doing, more or less. My backhand especially, I felt really good about it.
No, this feels like I don't know if you feel like your body is tensing correctly as you're making contact. This is good contact. It feels like you're using the muscles in the right way. Feels like your body, yeah, the forehands look really good. I don't know how you feel about the inside out forehand drill.
I it's my favorite shot, really.
Okay.
Yeah, inside out forehand is probably my favorite shot. Lately, I haven't
Okay.
been able to hit in a match on target. Um, I've been cranking them out wide lately,
Yeah,
which I don't like,
that's
but
okay.
overall, it's kind of my favorite shot. And then the inside out down the line, you'll see it in
I
the
think
match.
what one thing could help with like live ball is that if you get rid of this part on your backhand where your hand goes like this, it
Yeah,
like
I noticed that. I saw that
yeah. So you can see
right
his
here.
yeah. What we're referring to is like when Lyman takes his racket back on his backhand, his right hand where he's holding the grip goes further than his left hand holding the choking the front of the racket. So
Right
that's
here.
Yeah. That's just like it's a lot of time being wasted. It's an extra motion. Um, like people have different emotions. Like we said at the start of this like series, I think people have different emotions, but ultimately, like if it works for you and you don't get injured, that's great. But most people do need to simplify and like have clean motions, or at least like adopt their form to be around one to do well. Because it's just less things to think about for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that for sure. Um,
Yeah.
one thing to add to our list, eliminate the that it's like almost like a baseball bat wind up. Baseball
Yeah.
does that quite a bit.
Yeah. Which we have to do this repeatedly a lot more than baseball players. Like this is not it's not sustainable for us.
Got beat pretty bad. But
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. No comment. No, we should comment. Um we could take it like point by point, or I
okay,
don't know how you want to approach it. Basically, I think with a situation like I don't want to I don't want to be mean. Um if your like partner skills are not the best at the net, maybe it is for best for them to like how is this ladies ground strokes?
it was tough. It was pretty tough. We can go a little further down. Yeah, and Eric was like ripping shots. I played against Eric in the 4-0 tournament, but
Oh,
he
okay.
but he's rated 3-5 now.
Right. Okay.
So, um,
Okay.
so
Uh no, this is this is good. This is correct. Nice. You won that point. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I think the first obvious things are like you should put your partner where she's most comfortable. Obviously, for return, she has to be at the baseline. But what a lot of people do uh, is initiate a lob to have you guys switch positions to where she's at net and you're at baseline. I mean, if the lob's good and you guys can both be at the net, then yes, that's where we want the doubles play to develop to. But if you need to, and they see a lob and then they counter with a lob because you guys are both at net, you are the one that goes back to the baseline. So that's one way to get your partner to the net where maybe shots are a little easier.
Yeah. It, y- like the beginning doesn't really show. Yeah.
Um, Obviously, from the beginning, we saw that the volleys are, anyways. Okay, well, Eric's really nice. Um,
Yeah.
you guys are playing really fast though. Uh, like I know they're trying to blow balls at, like big shots at you really fast, really quickly to like make the situation worse. But do you feel like you were able to like maybe slow down the pace at all, or you're just like this is a lot to handle?
Um, for the yeah, I talked to them after the match, and they're like, "Yeah, our strategy was just to keep the ball away from you, and there's not much I can do here." Yeah, there really isn't. And then as soon as they get the chance, they'll switch down, and yeah, but she does hit some good shots. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Um, but
we
as you
can blur
go,
out this lady.
Huh?
Or incognito. We can blur her out so no one
Yeah.
recognizes.
So though that last point was the common theme of the match.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like if this is like a situation at curse, like your best chances are to just kind of like put the person in the doubles alley, and you're gonna be pulling a lot of singles style footwork, a lot of single style work.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. See, like that was like total. So the only thing, so remember when I talked about doing high risk shots?
yeah,
Anytime I was receiving, that's exactly
yeah.
what I would do. I would just punch it right at the net person.
If you
So,
if you played this point, that last point over,
uh,
uh, from
this one.
Deuce, yeah, okay. So here, okay, return. This is like if you go back even like it just slow motion the point.
Okay. Was it here? Yeah.
Yeah, so okay,
Let me
this is a high
see.
ball. They're both looking at it, right? Eric even looks back. I would run up at the net right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of things you have to do is like you have to just take a lot of initiative. At 3-0, 4-0, 3 like 3-5, people don't pay attention that much and they'll look back, right?
Got it.
Which from our podcast you're not doing anymore. So you that's when you were like this is extra footwork time, extra sprint, volley, just get up to the net because you know they're both looking back and you know where she's going to place the ball
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're not you train for you hit volleys, you that's when you cut across. Here again, she's if you see her, she has two choices here. Okay, this goes to the net, but like if it goes back down the line, you run up and you
Got it.
cover where Eric is standing, but the reciprocal,
Mm.
right? Same deal. So you have to be basically moving back and forth like a lot. Like if you see here, okay, Eric's going for it, you back up, but he looks back again,
And I
and
should have came. I think I do come forward, but it was out.
okay. Yeah, if it was in if it was in, you want to be like right on the net, like right here where you are now. That's how far you up you should be.
Okay.
Because like and obviously with the lob thing, trust that she has plenty of time. Yeah, nice. Perfect. That's what you need to do consistently and be a lot on the net. The lob thing is okay because for her, being the weaker player, could be him, being the weaker player, like you have time to get to a lob, right? You're not panicked, it's loopy, there's a lot of time. But for you to make the game-winning like plays, what's going on here?
It went right at her feet and it's going out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like you have to take a lot of initiative and move up a lot. And run back, at some point. But like, yeah, look, if you look at Eric, he's like kind of watching behind, not really watching you,
Hmm.
which we don't do anymore. We don't watch our
Yeah.
partner like that. Yeah, we're watching the net player. So this is good. Like I think just stepping in the middle is good. Um, that's okay that like Eric hits cross court and it doesn't end well. Like we're not gods, but here if that goes in and she has to it's in, like say it's in the alley, you have to run up.
Yeah.
Obviously this is out, but it's stuff like that. Like say the ball, there's another one at the beginning of the match where the ball kind of floats in the middle and you like take you go mine, and take a forehand.
Yeah.
You have to go in after those. Like you have to
Okay.
go move to the net after those. Like hit as big as you can, but into the court. Keep the
Uh,
point playing.
yeah, I
But
started getting frustrated.
yeah, it's hard to control pace, is it not? Like
Yeah, yeah. It was
dealing with this. Sometimes
uh,
like what I do to get into the court and to get up to the net is that like I'll hit a heavy like spin ball, but I'll make it loopy, and so it lands deep. It wasn't the fastest in terms of time to get there, but it is a heavy ball and it sits deep.
Mm, okay.
And so they have to like, or the alternative is like for them, it's like I hit a short and low ball, so they have to run up and like pop it up and like like panhandle flip the ball up into my volleys.
And there you go. That's what the whole match felt like.
Yeah, sorry about that. This person's on your team, I'm guessing, and well,
Like, yeah, and then I screwed up on that, and I was just, I think, yeah. So I
oh,
did a
nice,
lot of
nice.
that whenever I had, you know, like I didn't know what else to do.
You do have a blank check, yeah. You have a blank check here, and it's okay to do that. Fair call. Great, thank you. Good eye. You're not hooking.
Yeah, that I mean, we're from the same club, so he started to come back sometimes, especially on second serve.
Yeah,
Uh,
drop shot to her if you want. Nice, good point. Good point, win. Yeah, that's rough. I sorry, you can't do anything about that. I wouldn't hit to his volley so much. Uh,
the only thing is because she's actually a very good lobber,
yeah.
so it and it was like I made the decision to fire at Eric as much every time just because
It
it,
works.
it was yeah, it worked. Number one, it worked. Number two, if I didn't, she would immediately lob it back to her. And it puts
Uh,
me in a really bad position because if she hits it any way short, I'm in trouble,
right,
right?
right.
So like
No, then yeah, that makes sense. Well,
I almost had it. I was like,
okay. Well, that makes sense. Congratulations for the loss.
well, I had a winning season last year, and well, I guess I won't this year, which is fine. It's okay.
I mean, like, with your new title as a 4 you're supposed to lose more, like
Yeah, yeah,
initially, right? If you were not, then something would be wrong.
that's also true. So I have to make that
Yeah,
climb, and I
good
um
serve.
yeah, I wasn't serving great, but I
You still look a little scrunched, but
yeah, a little scrunched, and
we need to figure out a way how to practice. I would say like what you should do is like don't when you do your serve practice, to make sure you're practicing not being scrunched, is you should just toss, right? And toss and load and just toss and load with your
mm,
racket and don't hit the ball.
toss and
Um,
load, don't hit the ball.
yeah, just toss and load, don't hit the ball. You can do this at home in this case, like toss and load and don't hit the ball. Um, and like look at where the ball height is, like toss load and look at where the ball height is. Like have that feeling that you're sinking together. And this is the pause picture moment of like Pete Sampras, for example, right? Like practice that feeling of everything together. And in your head, when you are set and loaded, um, you know you're moving up together. There's no more loading to be done.
First time playing 4030 combo. Uh, my partner was just coming back from an injury, and they were very tough opponents because we practiced once before,
Mm.
and we were doing really well against 2, 3, 5 players. But these guys, Eric is definitely not. I mean, he's probably like a very high 3.5, if that. Probably 4.0, but it's ratings aside, they were good players. They had good control, and it's tough. So
Yeah. All right. It's normal.
yeah. I took it as what do we do? And you mentioned like yeah, put the person in the devil's alley, and like I never want to do that to somebody.
No,
Like
no.
how badly do I want to win? And can I can I really play one on one with Eric and another person? It'd be kind of tough. Like I think that's a tall ask.
No, no. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one thing to like be competitive and to like want to win, and another thing to like just have fun when you're at your club, right?
Yeah. And that's why like I didn't try to take too many balls, but there were things that you're right, I could have done better. I could have looked at those opportunities that you now point out, like, oh, he's looking back, and I know that ball's going to go back cross court to her. I should
Right.
have stepped in and poached
Yeah.
or cover more. She likes to burn people down the line, supposedly, so I don't know. I guess maybe that sat in the back of my head.
The thing with the down the line is that the down the line thing is like if they're good at pulling down the line, make them do it. Make them do it once.
Hmm.
Make them do it, and like they'll pull the trigger, and if they're good, it goes in. Congratulations. But now the game is on to where you're doing footwork and manipulating them to like hit down the line, and you know that, and you take the volley. But
Hmm.
if they're good at pulling it down the line, make them do it. Be as
Okay.
aggressive as possible and make them do it once.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a try. So what should we work on this week? I might hit with Eric next this coming week. Yeah, I'm gonna try before I head off to Dad's next. I'm heading to Dad's on the 19th. So
Right. Yeah, I think that the notes I added to the notes that we have for the podcast, I guess, is that the description of like this kick serve is added in, and then you already made a note on the backhand, so using your chest. So those are just the two things I think. Make sure you split that. Make sure you turn. This is more than enough. Even if when you head into dad's gonna point out things, so
yeah.
not worried.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Until next week. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us again on our channel. And yeah, we have a long way to go, and we're excited for the journey. So check back next week for the next episode. All right, remember to like, follow, subscribe, share, and leave comments. We want to hear from you guys.